What is up, boys and girls, and everybody in between? I am your host, Ben/bentherestudios. I hope you are having a fantastic morning, evening, or night, whatever it shall be for you. Hopefully, by the time that this video comes out, there should be a playlist. So, because what I'm about to say should hopefully make sense. If you guys, this is now the fifth installment of the series where I build custom FNAF locations. First, we did FNAF 1, FNAF 2, FNAF 3, and we just recently did the FNAF 4 house, right? Here we're doing Fredbear's Family Diner. I'm trying to go in order of the games. So after this, there's actually gonna be two locations that we're gonna be being built. Both of them will be sister location related, but yeah. So actually, as I was saying, today is going to be Fredbear's Family Diner, which Fredbear's is a location within the FNAF 4 game where the Bite of 87 happens, or the Bite of 83, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's really just an 80s restaurant that is owned by both Henry and William. And yeah, with that being said, let's get into the stuff. So as you can see right here, I have the floor, and then what I decided to do. Then what I decided to do for this floor, is if you see here, I have the kitchen tiles, which is I'm gonna be using this, for the kitchen. Here's gonna be the main floor that we use for all around the pizzeria, right? I feel like that this is very Fredbear's esque. Here is actually gonna be the exit boards, and again, I feel like it is gonna be a very very simple design. Fredbear's was made in the 80s, so it's gonna be very basic, not like too high tech. We're gonna try to go a bit lower. Here's gonna be the wall design that I chose. Again, this is a very basic walling, but yeah. Let's get into the cast. So, of course, you have Fredbear, Spring Bonnie, right? So with that being said, we have those two guys, of course, the OGs. Then we also have Security Puppet, right? Then from there, what? Oh, okay. And then from there, after we have Security Puppet, here is where I decided to make things. I feel like these two are for sure, within the location. The puppet could be at a separate location, but I feel like it just makes a lot of sense for puppet to be with them. But then we have these five, which if you guys don't know who these are the mediocre melodies, and it is heavily theorized that Henry Emily made these, and I think that since Henry was also co-owner, I feel like these guys honestly fit the vibe. They have these little low-tech battery packs, which I think would make a lot of sense. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like they would be a good vibe. Then we have this guy, which is Endo Plush, and honestly, I'm thinking for him, he would just be kind of like a plush trap model, or like the very first plush trap, because the plush trap is very like reminiscent of Spring Bonnie. So yeah, here's your cast. Hopefully, I can do a little entrance. Pose out the cast. Yeah, that's everyone. And with that being said, let's get into this blueprints. So hey guys, welcome to the blueprints. So here it's honestly a pretty easy and relative, layout. So if you look at the big giant box in the middle, that's going to be our main dining area. We're going to have all the party tables, Fredbear, Spring Bonnie. If you look up at the very top, you're going to see the main stage up there. Puppet's also going to be in the area, along with three of the mediocre melodies. You'll see once we get in. Yeah, the main stage, pretty self-explanatory. Then if you look to the right of that giant box, you will see that we have parts and service, the kitchen, boys' bathroom, girls' bathroom, and yeah, you're gonna have that. And if you look past that, you see that we actually have the office, which I decided to put the office down at the end of the hall, so I think it made sense. Then if you look all the way at the entirety of of the left of the map, you see that we have party room A and B, as long as William and Henry's office, because I feel like they'd have an office there. Then if you look up at the very very top of the entire map, you see that small box. that is the exit. And yeah, it's just like an emergency exit, a back door in case anything, happens. And yeah, that's the map. I know this one's pretty easy to get through, pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. With that being said, I will see you guys in the tour. Enjoy. What's up, guys? Welcome to the tour. Honestly, this is might be this is for sure up there in one of my more better locations. I built. I think it currently goes FNAF 4, FNAF 3, and then Fredbears. So, yeah, by that being said, this is, the Fredbears. I was going to do an exterior. I really did plan for it, but I tried like 3 or 4 different ways, and I just couldn't do it. Then I realized, hey, this is what it looks like in the game anyway, so it's fine. But with that being said, hold on, let's get into the tour. So I try to again. I try to make this place as bright as possible without making it look weird or wrong. But over here you have the security puppet. I should close that. Yeah, you just have the gifts, the balloons, a whole bunch of kids' drawings. Again, just makes sense. Puppet is like one of my more favorite characters, so security puppet. Yeah. Then if you look on the other side, you have Fredbear, which these are supposed to be like spotlight things. So I don't know. I just like the idea of it. I've been trying to get, like invisible item frames, but they just haven't been working. So yeah, I think I like this. Have 2 gold stars. You have a little wire going into both speakers. Yeah. Oh, over here you have the office. This one is office of William Afton. So this is William's office. You have a circus baby, Spring Bonnie, and also a Foxy pal. Makes sense for him. His son Michael for Foxy, Elizabeth for circus baby. Fredbear is here, and he is Spring Bonnie. Some blueprints, a purple chair, cause makes sense. Coffee machine, cause again I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And this is a drawing that's from the Silver Eyes, which actually explains that's how William controls all the possessed kids and stuff. Here's the office of Henry Emily. Of course, you have the puppet stuff for his daughter Charlotte, and he also has a whole bunch of other drawings, which in this I feel like shows he cares a bit more. And yeah, he has some papers. He has a green chair because the green and purple contrast. He has a vending machine. I don't know. It just makes sense. So like their offices are pretty, simple. Then if you go over here, you have the first party room, which is Orville. Again, I did this little this 1-2 skip a few golden star pattern that I did in my FNAF 2 build for all my party rooms. And I don't know. I'm really using a lot of FNAF 2 elements because again, it is heavily theorized that FNAF 2 was made. Or no, it's not even theorized. I'm pretty sure it's canon that FNAF 2 is all Henry. So I try to really make this seem more like FNAF 2 was an upgrade of this pizzeria. But yeah, you just have an orange, party table, some pizza plates, Orville on stage, and yeah. Over here again, it's pretty much the exact same thing, which is Mr. Hippo. I'm excited. It's purple tables, some cakes, pizza, this little spotlight design, and yeah. Here's the exit, which I don't know why all these are open, but here's the exit. Literally just you run out and voila, freedom. But yeah, you just have some spare chairs and tables, some boxes, crates and trash. You got light switch, trash, and fire extinguisher. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. We're gonna get to these guys last. Then you have the kitchen, which is here is a little oven brick pizzeria thing, which I think would go almost perfectly with the more 80s aesthetic. You have this, what I also did in my FNAF 1 build. It's where it's like a little ticket thing where you can walk up yourself and order. Bell to say, hey, your food's ready. Just, some basic a counter. 2 fryers, 2 sinks, 2 stoves, and a pizza oven. Yeah. Just, again, a very basic kitchen. All this location is very plain because again, it is the 80s. I don't want it to be too complicated or it's like too like involved, like you know, like you know, like you know. Sorry, jeez, my English is bad. Like security breach, where it's just so packed with so much small stuff. Where I feel like where I feel like FNAF 1 through like FNAF 1, 2, 3, or FNAF 1 and 2 and Fredbear is like very simple, very basic stuff. But here you have the other two mediocre melodies of Happy Frog and Pick Patch. Again, a small stage spotlight. I'm pretty sure I copied just like the balloons and everything off of this side, and yeah, you know, then smushed in between these two animatronics is another animatronic, where this is just the backstory, or like this is just the parts and service. We have the actual wearable costumes. Then you have the like the plush trap '01 endo. You got a few spare you know, cutouts. You have a spare mask, a puppet. You have spare, you know, batteries for all the mediocre melodies, and then just a whole bunch of parts. And honestly, we can take this route. So of course, you know, of course, there had to be at least one event in this location. It's not a very small event, but it is an event that goes from the backstage into the office, which I actually really enjoy how the office came out. I know for a fact I did not connect this. So let me just voila. Here, you know, it's a pretty, you know, basic office. Oh, to left shift. Then you have a locker. You have a spring binding cutout, which, I thought his eyes were red. I was gonna, you know, say something. But this door is where the little plush trap endo would come from, and you just close the door. You know, you cut off his neck. You have the paper pals. You have another, you know, puppet cutout, some monitors. Yeah, this feels very FNAF 2-esque, and again, that's kind of the whole point. Is I don't know. I feel like Fredbear's and FNAF 2 are very, very close in like time and stuff. Yeah, but now you have the bathrooms, which is, you know, now you have two stalls. You know, both of them work. You have a light switch. Then you have two sinks, two hand dryers, a soapbox, trash, and I'm pretty sure it's the exact same on the other side. Yeah, you have two stalls, two sinks, two cupboards, a mirror, soapbox, two dryers. Yeah, you know. Then we get to the main room, this big party room. This party room just has a whole bunch of tables with chairs and pizza and cake all over it, you know. I tried to add like some more decoration because it was just like really plain on like the floor and stuff. So I did add that. Here I tried to recreate Happiest Day or whatever it was, where you have, you know, 6 missing kids, a giant cake. And yeah, and of course you have the main attraction of the entire location, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. And yeah, that is Fredbear's Family Diner. I think I want to do the outro on here. Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you all have a great morning, evening, or night. Be sure to drink water and eat some yummy snacks. I will be sure to catch you guys in the next video. See ya.